Again, let's go. Grip. Hold your hand anatomically by your side. Let it just rest naturally. Bring your hand up, bend at the elbow. You see that grip that you have there? You have the web of your hand. This is where your weapon's going to go. The back blade corresponds to the front side. Back side corresponds to the front edge. Understanding where this is, you'll exactly understand where this is. Also has to do with understanding this grip here when you feel and touch it. Everything has to do with your little finger. All the strength is in your little finger. You lose 50% of your hand strength when you lose your little finger. See how these two fingers here are connected to your arm, whereas these two are not. Think about that. Right. Anatomically correct. Place it here at the back. Hold it like a golf club or a tennis racket. Do not squeeze. Do not squeeze. Hold firm but not squeeze. It's a feeling like when you toast your bread in the morning, right? It's in the unconscious act when you hold that, so it should be here, right? And that comes with thousands of hours of practice. This does not squeeze. You'll often see in the katori shinjuru, we point the fingers. Kenjutsu bends it. Other styles of swordsmanship, Japanese will just have it loose. Rapier, etc. uses the finger a little bit more, but that is a little bit different than a flick, using these two here, as opposed to the draw and the power that we need with our weapon in the Japanese systems. All sword styles are basically the same. They follow a pragmatic set of sequential, logical methods. You don't run into battle with your head down screaming, you'll get it cut off. Right, that's one position we won't do. Next one, etc., etc., etc. Once you hold your weapon, your left hand here, your right hand touches your bottom. Again, anatomically correct. Touch your bottom gently, slides up until your forefinger touches the hand guard. Super. From here, that's your grip. That's where you put your right hand, okay? It's in that vicinity there. It's so that you can understand the alignment of the blade and true edge. Find your true edge all the time. You have to know exactly where that true edge is. It's minute. Okay, sweet as. That's your grip. Oh, my apologies. Squeeze your thumbs in. So like when you're wringing out a towel, or you're going to Chinese burn to your grandmother, it's thumbs in, thumbs in. Watch my forearms, in, but not tight. You'll get a lot of pressure on your pad as well, right? That's quite normal, that you're using that between your pad and your little finger. Look at that. Basically, holding it like so. It's here. Okay. Iaido deals with the draw. Iaido deals with the draw, the cut, the chiburi, and the replacement. And there is a strict regimental regime, regimental methodology around that. Very strict. The blood shaking is what they call chiburi, right? In katori shinjuru, we hold the weapon here, we whip it around, we bash the back of it, we whip it up onto our shoulders, and then we take our saya, and we bring that up, and we come it out that way here, and then down. Well, however you want to do it, it's cool. I've stabbed I've stabbed many, many animals. I grew up on a farm. I have cut lots and lots of flesh and bone with these things, and I can assure you, I have tried all of the different methods of getting the blood off, etc. And the one that I find the best, so you just take a dead jersey and you just wipe it off like so. I can assure you that was the best way. Also, you get a lot of fat along the blade too, eh? You get a lot of fat and it sticks along the blade, which makes it hard to run. Human beings would have to be the same, I would assume. Right? Anyways, what I was told often is that most of the times in combat, the short blade did the work anyway, and that makes a lot of sense. Your long one would be the one to fend, to hold, and defense. The other one would be your thrust. Off, of course. Just showed you how to hold your weapon. I'm now going to use my bokken. Sizing your weapon. Jesus Christ. Sizing your weapon. So now you know how to hold your weapon. You're going to size the weapon. Take your weapon as you normally would in your right hand or left hand accordingly. Relax your entire body. Have your spine straight, stand up like you're a proud warrior, huh? Bring your weapon back and it will just touch. I don't like doing that because it's my wooden floor, but you can hear that scratching. It's not straight, so it's just back a bit. Hear that? That's how you size it. If it hits the ground, it's too long for you. If it comes past quite a way and you get somebody down there to have a look, it's too short for you. So bam, there, I just sized your weapon for you. For the Japanese style. Is there a, what you call an actual length? Yes. Tokugawa era, Bakufu. Decided 67 for a Shingunto. It's a military sword up to about 75 centimeters is the length of the sword. Let me put it in there. Rule of thumb that I was taught, your height minus 90 centimeters length of your sword. Okay, for those of you who have swords, that's how you should be doing it. And what you want to do is when you hold your bokken, you'll move your bokken accordingly, drop it down to the side, hold your weapon, bam, that's how you get it, right? So whatever bokken you've got, that's your grip, right? This is why you want to get rid of those handguards, because often you'll be on the top of the handguard. Like in my case, I'm on the top of, I hold here and I just lift off the ground. I'm actually where Suggs would put his handguard. So that's where my hand goes. It's more about comfortability of your grip and understanding how these hands, no matter what, when you grab a weapon, will always come to that natural position for you. Not unlike putting your hands up in the fight, yeah? A natural position for you. 6 minutes. We have done the grip. We have sizing it. Okay, sweet. Your first position. Grip, sizing, footwork. Sorry, let's go into our footwork. Here we go. Footwork, once again, is pretty much all the same in most of the styles. Sometimes, often, you get in a lot of fencing styles where they'll be way out like so. Bump. Weird turn off like so as they're going in. Bump. That makes a lot of sense when you've got a rapier and stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I had the fortunate luck to be taught by a very, very good United States fencer many, many years ago in the, California. Many years ago in the 90s. I learned a lot off him about fencing, etc. Also whilst in Germany, played with fencing, etc. And swords, after a while, you'll get to see that they're all very similar according to the weapon that you're holding. And remember, all weapons have three capabilities, or three distinct uses. Thrusting, slashing, defense. Slash, thrust, defense. Often you get two of those, but you won't be able to get three. All right, one that's really good for thrusting, not necessarily good for slashing, but great for defense, etc., etc. Work that triangle out. And so you know, these are not great swords for thrusting, eh? Not the best, eh? But still strong. Footwork, here we go. I will, what weapon, I'm going to stick it here. You see that? Okay. You're never, in this style of swordsmanship, you're never going to be too far ahead, too much. Unless, of course, you're leaning down to cut quite low. In this case, where you're at right now, here we go. This is all you need. Turn your heel in, make sure your heel's on the outside of your body. This one then comes in again, and they're both faced out ever so slightly. That changes as you start to move. It always gets to the point where it's pointing towards your opponent. Alright? Now, this here and this here gives you an even spacing of your body's weight distribution. You do not bend over, you remain straight, like so. Here. Then what you do, take a look at your toes and you bend your knees until you can just not see your toe. Bam, that's it. Get used to that position, get used to that bent knee. Get used to always traveling like that, and do not go up and down when you move. You want to make sure that when you travel, that you're traveling evenly. This is why you glide your feet across the ground too as you go. You always want to be connected to the ground. If you stomp and move up and down, so will your weapon. So will everything, and you won't be centered. You need to be gliding. When you move outside and you're moving your feet, you're pretty much doing the same thing, but you're very aware of where the ground is, and what you're trying to do is work out the coordination between your feet, your weapon, and your body. You do this in the dojo and you slide your feet. Like so. There's really only a few ways you'll ever move your feet in any style, and that's a natural human way. You will step and slide, come through, come through. And the last one is just a quick switch. And you're switching fast, back and forth. Oomph. That then leads to your different daisabaki, which in swordsmanship is quite important, but we'll get to that later. So for now, here you go. First position, your feet are in that position. Here, here. For the meantime, unless you've got somebody on your shoulder smacking you, just make sure this foot's facing towards your opponent, eh? This hand at the bottom, moving into your first posture. First posture, this hand here goes where it's meant to go, towards the throat, keeping the tip of the weapon towards your opponent. Hands are in the right position. This hand here goes about a fist in front of your center of your body, your tanjin. Tanjin. Yeah. Your right hand goes where it naturally goes. If it was to come down here and feel that, it will naturally always go to that spot there. Your tip will go towards your opponent's throat and face area. You will make sure that your groin and hips are all facing forward. Here I am off. This arm is longer. Shoulders are not square. Here we are square for the same reason we put both our hands out because both hands will be equal to our opponent. Here, closer, further. Here, further, closer. Weaker area, stronger area. Alright. Square up. Make sure it's nice and square. And have your feet accordingly. Hips around. There we go. I'll do it from here. And this is known as Seigan, Seigan. When often you're doing your thing, you'll hear Seigan, then it'll come back to normal. Make sure your spine is straight. Your spine is not straight, your posture will not be correct. If your spine is straight, your posture will be correct, your shoulders will be square, and your weapon will be where it needs to be. This is just me moving my back left leg. Back left leg. Right leg. Right leg. Right leg. Left leg. Left leg. Right leg. Right leg. When you move side to side, bring your foot in and out. Ultimately, you're just going to be whipping around anyway because it's a speed thing, but much like riding a bike, when you start, you don't go fast. People just keep texting me, bloody pictures come up. Exercise. 13 minutes. Grip, posture, footwork. Is there more advanced footwork? Oh God, like, yeah, 100%. 100% there is. But this is just the basics, alright? So just get your footwork clear on this one. You can go up and down the hallway just doing this, mate. Making sure that your footwork and your blade doesn't pop up and down, and that you don't go up and down, mate. Okay? Seigan Nokamai. Here's an exercise that's good for you to do that involves you coming right back over your head with your weapon. In a lot of the old styles of swordsmanship, we don't come right back over our head because it wore a big helmet. It just got in the way, and you can make sense, right? Yeah. See when you do Jodo Nokamai, the high stance, the high posture. So what we do is we often come back onto our arms. The exercise I'm about to give you doesn't show that because it's an exercise. Alright? So, in Kendo, their footwork is pretty much the same. It's always left foot to right, right foot to left, right. And you hop, 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 hop. Not a lot of difference between the two. One is just done fast and the other done slow. It's still fundamentally the same, and karate, it's the same as well. Mobility, yeah? 14. Right? So here's an exercise you can do that gets you this technique here. I'll show you, it's just here. Looks like this from the side. You're just doing this, and you bring straight back and straight down, straight back and straight down. You'll notice I'm actually hitting myself. Wow. Wow. Sorry, just somebody keeps texting me. Bring it straight back, straight down. Do not deviate it. Do not bring this back and stab the sky. Do not bring this up and then down. Unison. You notice my hands come down. Watch me bring them out. Down. Ha. Say it again. Now, what I do is I step forward and back. Forward and back with the right foot. So every time the right foot lands from the time it moves. So your feet will be here. So when you're standing still, you'll often bring your feet in, and you bring this foot always, again, facing your opponent. Right foot comes back, and the weapon will land as the right foot lands. Bam! 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 1, 2. As you get better at that, you speed it up and you jump your feet. So you'll step forward, left foot comes forward. Unison of breath and body too. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. Don't worry about the kakegoi, the voice stuff. Will come in a later lesson. Then you can start to jump with it. And that's just this. Great exercise. Building up your muscles around here, stretching back out, and also getting your feet and body, breath and mind all in time with one another. A great exercise. It has everything to do with timing. Swordsman has a lot to do with timing, eh? Your ability to hit a weapon, a person with a weapon, you don't want to hit them over and over again. Filipino martial arts is a little bit different. Whether I'm hitting your hands or hitting your head, I can reach out with that. I can hit low with that or center. Okay, cutting your first cut, known as keisageri. Most common cuts are here. Miyamoto Musashi often said 4 postures, 3 or 4 cuts, eh? Most common. True that, unless you're behind someone, you wouldn't really cut towards the legs, unless you're already down there, eh? Another video will go into postures, eh? Shin, what is that? Shin, ino, sha, hidari, migi, ogasuri. Say again. I'll go into postures at a different time. So what we do here, again, the forward's the same, guys. Ladies, whatever. Now I can keep this still, or I can step and slide. And as you get better, you learn to move that left foot forward and change. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're a good swordsman, you should be able to use it off both legs, off both feet. Again, try to slide it around the floor. Do not stomp your feet up and down. If you stomp your feet up and down, your body and your tip will move up and down. It'll go into a bad position, a bad area, and you'll get taken. No different than dropping your hands, eh? So you notice when I bring this back onto my arm here. Okay? To here. And that's the grip that I have. Touching. Not out like this, not finger split. Comes up like so. You notice that my fingers are still on the weapon. And this comes directly above my head, back over it, and slips down into my arm. I'll do it without moving. step, slide, eh? Slide. You'll notice the circle that it travels. Comes back in a circle, and this arm here, these hands are a circle. This is a circle. Depending upon how close you are to your opponent as to how you're going to hit them with. Straight back, straight up with the hands, and here. Make sure your hands are above your head, not too far to that side, not too far to that side especially. Leniency given there, most of yours are above your head here, right? This is not detached, it is attached. Second. Hey. Yo. Hey. Yo. Hey. Yo. Hey. Yo. Etc. I'll step forward with the left foot. Hey. Yo. Hey. Yo. Right. Right. Left. Left. Hey. Yo. Ho. Here's your last one. 21 minutes or so. Try to relax while doing it. Unify. Exhalation as you come down. Inhalation as you come up. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. Kasegiri is this, where you are cutting down that way. And you have to learn to do migi and hidari for when you cut here. If you do not know this posture here, this cut here will not do suffice you any good. So please wait, I'll do another video on postures. I hope this one helped.